for tuning in. This is your instructor Joy. So today we're going to talk about how to practice with metronome. Metronome is something that all violinists have to get used to practice with, so that we learn how to be in correct rhythm. Often you might have heard we cannot rush nor slow down. Yeah. Sometimes we're allowed when it makes sense musically, but especially when you're in an ensemble with a pianist or quartet or even in orchestra, it is critically important for us to be in correct rhythm. So often a little help of a machine comes very handy. And now a lot of violinists are struggling practicing with it because it's frustrating. So I want to show you first how to practice with that one. That's the most efficient way. That way so you can be also a very rhythmic violinist. So we're gonna first work on with this piece, which is from Suzuki book 2, you can find, or anywhere, Handel's Bouree. Of Handel's Bouree. Now, when it comes such thing, let's say you want to practice metronome with metronome, and see how do we pick the right tempo. Do we pick the tempo that it says? In this case, allegretto, it's kind of fast one, or do we pick the slow one? Or is there a specific rule to do that? Common mistake would be a lot of violinists just pick the tempo that's supposed to be the performance tempo, and that often is too fast for us and makes us tense, and therefore we lose the control. So that is something that should be avoided. Always it's a good idea to pick the tempo that's rather on the slower side. And when you pick a tempo, make sure play the most difficult passages of the piece, and then with the tempo that you can play those difficult passages should be used the tempo that's for the entire piece. As you know, there is a little fast passage there here. So there's all these many notes for a lot of violinists that can be very difficult, and you want to pick the tempo that you can play that one. And always it's safe to start out rather slow tempo. Let's say my goal tempo is 120 for a quarter note. But we do not start right away like that. You start maybe a little slower. So I would start maybe a quarter note 88. This would be tempo also from beginning. Yeah, and then that's how you pick tempo. And also when you shop for a metronome or metronome app, whichever you do, make sure the beat, the tick sound is loud enough. Often they're very fancy looking tiny metronome that does well, but as soon as you start playing violin, it just gets buried in, you can't hear the beat, and that defeats the purpose. Make sure you get a metronome that's really loud. For me, this works well. That's Seiko's old-fashioned metronome, but it doesn't have to be this. Any metronome with loud beat sounding will do. Common mistake when it comes to rhythm, therefore needs to be practiced with metronome, are when it comes to long notes. Let's say here. There's a long note. When it comes to long notes, a lot of violinists tend to shorten it, because I don't know why, maybe we stop counting. That's common mistake. And a second common mistake is when there's a lot of fast notes, a lot of violinists tend to rush it, tend to get faster than necessary. Because when we see a lot of notes, we think we have to get faster, and we get tense, and then we lose control, and we feel like we have to run away right away. So those parts are common mistakes. And then when you practice with metronome, you want to pick those parts. Yeah. A third common mistake when it comes to practicing with metronome is practicing with metronome from beginning to the end. in general, practicing from beginning to the end only is a bad idea, but especially when you're trying to be accurate by practicing with metronome. Be strong not to play from beginning to the end. If you really want it, maybe once, maybe twice maximum, but no more. Just be strong to pick those problematic areas, that's the difficult passages, and practice only that with metronome. Yeah, be strong to do that. And even then, when it's too hard, and be strong to break that one even half bar instead of the entire bar. Let's say I have hard time being here in rhythm. So let's first try in a slower tempo, which is 88. Remember our performance tempo, that our goal performance tempo is 120, but I'm not doing that one yet. So let's see, try once, only this difficult passage with a slower tempo, which is quarter note 88. And then sing one bar before you start playing. Just prepare yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. See if you could play it one, and try twice more. If you can play 3 times in a row, not skipped, 3 times in a row in this one, then you are ready to move on to the next one. But let's say something didn't go well, then you stop and the problematic note until you fix it. Let's say I was starting rushing from here. Yeah, then you stop there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Like this, you're controlling yourself to be with a beat. Count extra bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you can play like this one 3 times in a row, uninterruptedly, then add one more note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, actually I added too much. I should add only one more. Once again, 1, 2, 3. Like that. And you would gradually add one by one. And if the small section gets too big, then you move the next one, meaning add a little more new part and take off of old part, just a little of old part and a little of new part, like this. So let's say you master the first part, which is this one. Then the second one, you would add a little from old one and then new one. 1, 2. Yeah, yeah. 1, 2. And then you would gradually get faster tempo. Then next one would be, I say, 108. Same idea. Always one bit extra counting in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Then once you're done that one, next bar. Of course, after being able to play 3 times in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. On and on like that. Another common mistake about the long notes, like in this case half notes, and you could practice like that again. Again, the very first tempo was 88, and just feel free to do only that one. 1, 2. Again. 2. Yeah. So here, take your time. Don't push your tempo. The point of practicing with metronome is so that we keep things under control while being rhythm. You should never feel like you're pushed to play faster or slower. If that's the case, take even smaller section, yeah, so that you gain the control, and sometimes just 3 notes might be enough. Yeah, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe and share my videos. Bye bye.